Hello, hello, hello. We're out and about again. We're still up in Sunderland area now. We were at Hartlepool this morning. If you want to watch the other video, I'll put a link up for you. We went and had a look at Steatley Pier. So now I'm walking back up a hill. We just walked down to have a look. I'm at Chemical Beach at the moment and the tide's coming in, and I'm here to get the sea and wheels. Been here before. Didn't do a very good job of it, but it's sort of got sunlight and grey with a misty background, so I thought it would be quite good. But the tide's coming in and the tide's a bit too high to get them. Just sorting my boots out. So we're going to walk up the other end of the beach and go up to Blast Beach. And I say we, but I'm out with Mrs. C. She's out and about with me this week, or this weekend. We've got a weekend up here, so we're going to head up to Blast Beach, and there's a pillbox on the beach and a little sea stack, so I'm going to sit up and try and get a picture of that, see what it looks like with the tide coming in, see how far up the tide actually is when we get there, because that may scuttle our plans a little bit. So I'm not too sure why this is called Chemical Beach. You'd think it's something to do with the old industry or something that's around here, but we're up on the cliffs at the moment and walking along the edge of the cliffs, and you're not supposed to be this side of the fence, so if you are, be warned. If you have an accident, it's your fault, no one else's. But I've come right up to the edge of the cliff, and I'm no stranger to being on the edges of the cliffs, am I, and on something a bit precarious and sort of treacherous, but I just get that thrill. I like that environment to be in, albeit I'm very cautious of where and what I'm standing on, and I try not to stand on anything that looks like it could give away at any particular one moment, even though nature is nature. And yeah, because I can't see down there, and we're making our way up to Blast Beach, which is the next beach along in the next cove, this sea stack just seems to stand out and just scream at us, take a photo, take a photo. It's got to be taken. You know, it's really such a nice sea stack sitting here. It's just one little point sticking out, and I think it's called something like, we're on Nodes Point, something like that. Or Node Point, and I'll put the details up on the screen for you so you can see it. I've had the drone out on this before. I've been down on that beach. I can see the wheels are down there as well, the sea and wheels, and I will try and show you them later on if the tide goes back out. I've got about another hour and a half before the tide comes in, so it all depends on, you know, how long we're here for and what the tide's doing. But this picture is quite a nice shot. We're looking down the cliffs. We've got this lovely sea stack sitting there on the 3rds, and then we've got the line of the shore leading you in. I put the 10 stop on, which is giving me about 6 seconds, and you're just getting that bit of movement, and then the distance is just very plain. Like I say, there's a bit of sea mist out there, and it's just sort of drifting out and taking the horizon away with it, so it's quite a nice little shot. So this one to start off with while we make our way that direction. What we getting, Mrs. C? She's got the filters out.
Yeah. You take this 2-second timer because it does my head in when I'm...
That's what we've got. She's got the K&F filter kit on. She's got
I've only got the lowest one.
The lowest one, 3-stop.
Yeah.
She's got a 3-stop filter in at the moment. The K&F filter system.
Like that. Look at that.
If you've not seen the K&F filter system, it's quite a good system. And yeah, just check it's in focus for you, because to me it looks out of focus, but you've got the optics set up different, haven't you? But yeah, it's quite nice. We're sitting in this little cutout at the moment as well, so we can see down and see it. Now, I'm talking about the rule of thirds a lot, so what I'll do with this image is I'm going to put up the rule of thirds grid, so you can actually see what I mean by the rule of thirds. And I work on the rule for a simple basis that the principle works.
Right, here's a question then, because you know you always say about focusing so far into an image.
Yeah.
All right, about a third of the way in for an image. So where would you set your focus points here?
Well, for this, because that's the main interest, just on that.
So you wouldn't have...
You're an F18, aren't you?
Yeah,
so
no, but so there's going to be quite a lot in focus. So would you then focus on the grass, so to get the grass in focus?
No, not at F18. If you're focused on that, that'd be fine. So actually focusing on the sea stack, because that's the most important part.
Got it at the
but
bottom.
if the sea stack wasn't there, maybe sort of like where that knobbly bit of rock mud is, so it's sort of a third of the way into the image.
Of the way in, that's what you
were
saying.
Yeah, the sea stack's the sharpest.
Well, that's where I was focused.
Quite nice.
When you said it looked a bit soft.
Yeah.
It's not...
No, it's just because you've got the optics set different, haven't you, on the top?
Yeah, it's probably because you've got dodgy eyes.
Dodgy eyes. But yeah, that's quite nice. You've gone in a bit tighter, whereas mine's a little bit wider, so I'll put Mrs. C's up on the screen so you can have a look at that as well. and we're going to head up that way. See you at Blast Beach. So we've made our way up to Blast Beach now, so we're at the start of Blast Beach, and it goes all the way around, right the way around this cove, right down to the far end, and the far end is where the pillbox is. There's no water around the pillbox whatsoever, but we're definitely going to head round that way and have a look. If I remember, on this beach it's got some really dark sand with some nice orange colour stones, so we'll see if we can play with them and see if we can get an image out of that. But yeah, again, if you're near these cliffs and you're underneath these cliffs, you've just got to be a bit more careful. Falling rocks and stuff like that, there's loads of it. So you've just got to bear in mind where you are and what you're doing. So we'll make our way down that end, and then I'll get a shot set up, and I'll explain again the rules of thirds, because I think that's what we'll make this video about the rule of thirds and why I use it and where I've used it in my photography. I was right in what I said. This is the beach. It's got like a darker colour. I don't know if it's sand or what it is. I think it's discoloured. Yeah, I think it's discoloured, isn't it? Oil coloured sand. So if anyone knows the history of Blast Beach, why it's called Blast Beach, let us know in the comments. I'm always interested to know anything about any of my videos. And yes, this is the beach that's got the orange stones on it, so it looks really, really cool, and they stand out a lot. So I'm going to see if we can find something that's interesting. Seagulls nesting in the cliffs, so no drone up there because they will take it out of the sky. And all we've got to do now is find something. Oh, there's that pool of water. There's a pool of water over here, very, very muddy. Nice bit bigger driftwood as well, but not really in the best of places for it. No. It's obviously a beach where people like to come and light barbecues because there's stuff everywhere. But you can see these orange stones all over. Big orange stones. Yeah, does look like pumice. Yeah. So we'll find a nice image, and like I say, I'll switch you back on. Why does that not give me the feeling that looks very healthy? It's obviously colour from the sand and the rocks, but it looks really manky. It looks almost chemical-like. You know, it does look a bit daunting, but there's definitely a phone image there, if not anything else. But it does look horrible. And there's one up there that's very, very orange. Don't fancy being in that at all. I found me another image, and I've got to change and put the longer lens on. This is beautiful, or it's going to be. It's going to be an absolute wonder of nature. I'll show you in a sec. Big lens is on. Denise thinks I'm cuckoo, but I'm just gonna show you this, and it is an absolute peach. Ooh, oh god, this stuff down here is really not very nice to stand on, and I've just stood on it. Horrible, 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 horrible. I'm just trying to frame you up, sorry. I'm just moving you around, wiggling you around. Right, so I've got the big lens on. There's no polarizer on. I'm gonna turn the camera on in a sec. Let's just move this back so it's evenly balanced, like that. And this is where the thing's in my face, isn't it? You can't see me, so turn the camera on. Try and find what it is I'm looking at, so I have to zoom back out. My camera's not done up tight, so let's do it up tight. Alright, I've found it. So let's just have a little look. And again, I'm going to be working off the rule of thirds for this. It's exactly the same principle. I'm going to put the main subject, which you don't know what it is yet, on the rule of thirds. And I'm just going to set this up something like that. And it's very, very, very simple. And I'm going to take this shot, or not F22, we're not. Let's come down. We need to go down to, let's say F8 for this one. I'm going to take this shot and put it up on the screen, and I'm going to show you the quick grid overlay of the rule of thirds. But just have a look. What do you think? How weird is that? So what you're looking at is a little tiny speck of rock sitting out of the reflection, and I'm going to have to go wider to pick up more reflection, but the reflection is absolutely insane, and I just love that little rock. And again, I'm just putting it on the thirds line. In fact, I'm going to try and even this image out exactly And the only odd difference between the top and the bottom of this image is that one little rock on its own, and that's my focal point. Again, it's on the rule of thirds line, pretty much anyway. And all I've got is these bright colours in the reflection. What an amazing thing nature is for these colours. Wow, that's amazing. Almost worth a pano, I think. If I could do a pano of that strip that my eyes can see, that'd look fantastic. That's wall art, that is. Wall art on its own. In a dirty, murky puddle. One of the things I'm doing while I'm walking along the beach is I'm constantly got my eyes facing down, and I'm trying to look for things that have patterns in them that look different and interesting. And every so often I'll just get the camera, point it down, focus, and sort of take a shot. And until I get back home and have a look at the screen, I'm not sure whether they work or not, but they're just brightly coloured rocks, you know, something that's orange or patterned, like this one here. I'm going to take this one here. This one's really cool. This one's got some lovely patterns in it. In fact, fantastic patterns. Just going to brighten my screen up a little bit. Focus on it. Handheld on the it's on the tripod, but I'm holding it handheld. And just getting the patterns in the rock. And just trying to line it up so it looks good on the screen and the rocks that are around it. And every time I stop talking, I hold my breath just to get that final click as it goes. But the colours are insane on these rocks. Just look at this one here. Just look at this rock, how bright and coloured it is. Just look at the colour on that rock. And I'm just looking around the beach, pretty much at all the rocks and the colours and the stones. Just trying to find something that might stand out, that makes a nice colourful image, something a bit different. There's loads and loads of it, so it's just really looking around until you find one that jumps out at you, like that one there. See that one there? That to me jumps out, and I like the patterns and the textures on it, so I'm going to get a picture of that. Hello wife, how are you?
Got a stiff neck from looking down.
Got a stiff neck from looking down. I just said that's what I'm doing, looking on the beach, just trying to find something that stands out and looks cool. I just found a real peach back there.
Some of them have got like shiny, silvery flecks.
Yes, that has actually got little shiny flecks in it, like fool's gold, but silver. So we've walked right along the beach now, and I'm just clipping on me 18 to 55 and checking my distance, because I've seen we're close to the pillbox, and I've just seen an image I really liked, and no, I'm going to have to go wider still, longer still, so I'm going to have to change it to the long lens. So bear with me for 2 seconds, I'll put the big lens on again. And I've just seen the pillbox, the light just caught the side of the rocks behind it, looked really good. So I think it's worth a shot before we actually get on top of it, and then I'll start looking at the stones, leading lines and stuff like that. So let me just get this one sorted first. So I think Mrs. C's got bored. She's throwing stones at the moment in the just lobbing stones and rocks and boulders. Oh my god, the size of that. She's just throwing stones around. I don't know why. I think she's a little bit bored. So yeah, I've got my pillbox, I've got an image set, I've eliminated the sky altogether, I've taken the sky right out because it's just going to be a white mush, and I've got the 2-second timer on as normal, and I've put the pillbox on the right hand thirds. Okay, so I'll put the pillbox on the right hand thirds line, so whichever the right hand thirds is on this screen, because I'm opposite to when you're seeing me, sort of thing. So I've got the line like that, and I've got the pillbox in the middle there. Then on this side, where the intersection of the thirds are, which is somewhere over here, somewhere like that, it's really hard to do, I've got the little C stack. I'll say a little C stack, it's quite a big C stack, and I quite like that. Now I'll take the shot now and hope the light's going to come back on again, but if it doesn't, then it's going to be a bit more blander than the one I've just seen, because the light in a little moment ago was just banging against that C stack and making it stand out from the background. So I'll hang around here for a moment, see if it happens again, and then we'll get up a bit closer. So it's very difficult to get a shot of this in these conditions that really does make it work and make it pop. So what I've decided to do was come down really, really low, and I've put a big section of yellow rocks in the foreground. So I'm going to focus stack this probably F11 on the rocks in the foreground, and then I've lined the pillbox up on the top right hand thirds, and I've got the horizon line going through the right hand thirds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to really drag out that sky, I think. So I'm going to take the first shot on no brackets, don't need to bracket because my histogram's well in at both ends, and I'm going to focus on the pillbox as well, just to make sure that everything through the image is sharp. It's a bit of a blah image, a bit of a blah 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 image, to be honest, but I can probably punch it out and make something more interesting. But I'm just going to mooch around this pillbox now, just to try and find a kind of lead in. At the moment I've got almost an arrow, but I'm just trying to find something else that makes that punch it out, and it really does look, you know, good. But it's all going to be maybe using the colours in this, punch the colours out, drag the sky in and make it look quite moody, and I think it might make an interesting shot. But it's an interesting subject anyway, what more can you ask for? Alright, so we've got another very similar shot. I'm looking straight through the window this time, but this time I've got a bright pale rock in the bottom corner and the line sort of going off from the left to the right. So again, it kind of works. It'd be nice if we can get some of that sea splashing up in the background, but it's not that easy to get the sea splashing up. What it wants is a mega high tide. It wants a mega high tide that comes up and washes around the pillbox. That would be awesome, but also a little bit scary because that'd be a long way up. It works. This works though. It's all right. It's about the richness in them colours, I think, more than anything else. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I've said this to you before, it doesn't matter. We're out and about, and we're having fun, and I'm with the wife. I mean, what more can you ask for? You know, she's so pleased to be out sleeping in the van with me. Aren't you, babe?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So I can't actually physically get in because the doorway's pretty small, but we're in this narrow little tiny aisle where you climb inside the pillbox, and obviously it's buried a little bit so you can't get in. Now I think it's time to finish the video here. We've done some random things. We're going to have a look back at the wheels later on. The tide has gone out a little bit, so we'll maybe watch that and maybe even do a separate video on that, on maybe long exposures. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it? How to set up my long exposure and put a 10 stop on and take an image like that. But yeah, I hope you've all learned something a little bit about the rule of thirds. I hope you've also seen some nice colourful images. We've had some fun anyway, and I'm going to have a look as we walk back along the beach. I couldn't make this pillbox jump out and be super uber fantastic, but at least it works, at least it's okay. Mrs. C now are donning the old Compton cap, because she's got hair that's wisping up and starting to curl a little bit, and she finds that she finds that
Ken Dodd.
and she finds that the Ken Dodd image is probably not her favourite.
No. Hair straighteners are coming out later.
Till next time,
Just so you know.
the hair straighteners are coming out. Yeah, it's how to test the Jackery out. We're going to get the Jackery out and test these hair straighteners in the van. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Hope it's been fun. We've enjoyed ourselves anyway, and we're just going to mess around now and have a walk back to the van, aren't we?
Cup of tea,
cup of tea, soup. Yeah, it sounds good.
Bit of
Soup. And yeah, till next time, don't forget, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Ken Dodd.